Hello and welcome to episode 103 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkham.
Hello, Casey. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day,
Is Mr.
really.
Rogers here?
No. But, how are you?
I'm not too shabby.
How's your new life?
It's still crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you do anything for your birthday today?
I went to work, and then I came home. No, Caitlin made a nice dinner, so we had some mac and beef, and it was delicious. But otherwise, just sort of taking it easy. Honestly, I never get too riled up for my birthday anyway, so...
Well, yeah, because you're a grown man.
Yeah, because I'm a 29-year-old bastard.
Yep.
But, yeah,
Did you ever find your father?
What's up? Yeah, he's gone. He cracked one too many corns, they say. Yeah, so going up to...
We're going to figure out all along that Jim Brony is your father.
No! That makes me Jimothy!
So is Jim Brony's son Jimothy?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yep, little Jimmy.
That's a good piece of... Little Jimmy. That's amazing. But we have so many games to talk about.
Yeah, we do, because last week, somebody's audio failed us once again. And I just want to point it out for the record that...
or made it way better?
There's only one man who's lost audio on this here podcast, and it ain't me.
Well, didn't Justin technically lose his audio once last time he was on?
Yeah. But not... One of us. One of the mainstays.
Yeah, okay, yes. It's true. And I fully admit it. And yeah. And
what piece of hardware technology do you use?
What piece of hardware technology?
Yes.
I believe it's called the computer.
Made by
Apple.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving along here.
It had nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was the software.
Yeah, potato.
Audacity's a piece of crap.
We both use the same audio software, but mine never fails me.
Yeah, because yours is made for the PC.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So what's your point?
You stink on ice.
Okay.
But
so I just want to take a moment of our time.
To
tell everyone that Perry is the only one who ever messes up ever.
And then you get people all confused last week. I'm just kidding.
You're the one making people confused.
Is it a Fire Emblem game?
So it's like a Fire Emblem Light, right?
Something like that.
No. Yeah, just so everyone knows, last week, if you didn't hear on Twitter or anything, and you listened to the episode and you're like, what the heck is wrong with Casey?
It ain't the Carolina water.
Justin and I re-recorded, and then I just added in little pieces of his stuff.
Little
and
drops.
It was so funny because, like, there's this part around, like, 21 minutes, if everyone wants to go back and listen.
I love that you know the timestamp by heart because you've listened to it so many times.
I wanted to text you and have you listen to it, but it's the part where, like, I'm talking about Dead Cells, and I'm like, I died, and I lost, like, 100 Dead Cells, and you just start laughing, like, and it's like, it's not that funny, but it just makes you seem like a huge jerk. And then people caught on that too, and they said so on Twitter.
They were up in arms.
Yeah, but it was a joke. He really wasn't there.
Thank God.
Yeah, but it's episode 103 now. Can you believe it? We're well into our hundreds.
We're moving right along here, and next thing you know,
right.
It's going to be freaking Super Smash Bros. Time, and then we'll be talking about all these crazy games. Oh, and then it'll be E3.
Yep.
It's just, I feel like the year seriously just keeps on trucking along, you know?
Right, it's like, yeah, it's Christmas, then it's E3, then it's Christmas, then it's E3.
And now there's, like, so many nice gaps. Like, you're probably going to get Yoshi early next year, you know, before E3, so it's like, I mean, I guess you hope, but I guess that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
Well, it's more there than it is here, I guess.
Yoshi's Flipping Island.
Oh, I can't wait.
I hope that's what it's called. Because that's really funny. But, Anywho,
Speaking of flipping,
we have Quick Bites, and it's Quick Bites. And Nintendo.
yes, sir. Now,
What do we got?
let's start it off with the Nintendo, since we just got our nice jingle jangle there. Mm-hmm. I picked up Madden 19. I used to be an annual Madden buyer. Every summer, end of August, I get super pumped. I'd go to the midnight launch, pick it up, play, all good fun. Then pretty much I started getting real into the Nintendo games. I'm like, you know what? These Madden games are like all the same. It's like I don't have time to play Madden, Mm-hmm. But now the Jets, with their boy Sam Darnold, ready to lead the charge. My hype has intensified, Perry. And
I bet it has, you big Jimbot,
yep.
Jimothy Brony.
Jimothy. Yep, so I picked up Madden, and so it's been a few years. The last time I bought it was either 15 or 16, so it might have been 16.
Oh, okay, like not when you were 16.
No, like Madden 16, so like 3 or 4 years ago, pretty much.
Gotcha.
And it's Madden. It's got like the single player mode that, like the campaign or whatever, and I think they actually have two characters that they've actually like fleshed out. Like it's not like a player character as much as it's like actually you're following this guy's story and you play as him, I guess. I never really get too into those. I usually just like to play the seasons and play the games. So as far as the game goes, it's Madden. It's fun. It works. They've got like, I guess with the celebrations coming back in the NFL, when you score a touchdown, you could choose your different celebrations. And, I'm still in that phase of like, man, I'm sort of getting my butt kicked on one difficulty. We're not really getting my butt kicked, but like there'll be close games, but I'll just throw like 4 picks, and it's just frustrating, But
right.
But that's more on me, I guess, than the game. But the true and tried, I know it's tried and true, but I say it the other way around. Yeah. But Caitlin always says that to me. The announcing is pretty good, like the bits they have, but they never seem to line up right. It's always like it was the second half, and like you play 5-minute quarters or whatever it is. So they did a drive, and it was like, oh, I got the ball back with like 30 seconds in that third quarter, and they're like, man, they were doing so well in the first half. Now they're doing horrible. They need to change it around. It's like I haven't even gotten the ball yet. Like
right.
And other times where it was literally like I ran the ball, and then like the next they're like, yeah, on that last pass it was a bad throw, and he needs to be smarter about throwing the ball there. And I was like, I ran the ball. So
that's weird.
I feel like that's always sort of a thing with Madden is like you always get random bits when like it doesn't really, sort of go with the narrative of the game, but
right. I mean, I don't know that, but right.
Yeah. So the announcing's always sort of been.
When I played football, I played NCAA football.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, otherwise, like I said, the announcing itself is like pretty entertaining. I'm sure after you play a bunch of games, it gets really tiresome. But moving along, we've got
what else we got?
We got Bad North. Now, this is a game I was super excited about, and I'm playing it, and it's fine, but it's a little slow paced. So essentially, it's very minimalistic. If you've seen the pictures, like it's got a very distinct style.
It's cool.
It's cool, and you're pretty much like these little Viking clans on this island, and Vikings are coming up on your island, and you need to stop them. And it's just like a little grid, so you just sort of direct your soldiers where you want to go. There are a number of buildings on each island, and they come in waves, the enemies, and when you clear the map, they'll have like the final wave, and obviously it's usually the biggest. They come in, you clear that out. If they didn't do any damage or anything to your buildings, you get gold coins from them, and you move on to the next island. These coins, you want to gather up as many as you can because you can start upgrading your units. So, like my one...
Sounds like Kingdom a little.
Yeah, and like, at first they're just like artillery or whatever. They got like their little sticks. And then you can get them arrows, and now all of a sudden they can fire as they come in from the, as they're coming to shore, you can start attacking before they even get there. But then the enemies get shields, and you can get like I unlocked like a third unit, and they had like pikes and lances or whatever. So like they've got a little further reach, and you can upgrade them different ways. But it's just a little slow. Like I feel like I wish the waves came a little quicker. I feel like there's a little too much downtime in between. And honestly, like I haven't played a whole ton of the game because there's a lot going on, and it just like I'd want to get in there and be like, all right, let me bang out a couple of these maps, and then there's just a little bit of like it's not as snappy as I was hoping it might be, you know. But it's still a fun game. I heard it gets really punishing, like pretty quickly. It sort of ramps up. I have not gotten to that point yet.
Oh, okay.
But I did like how you could upgrade your different units, and there's not just like, oh, one path where that unit, oh, he's just like level 2 or level 3. There is agency with different, like how you want that unit to play out, you know. So it's cool. So you could play, you know, a little bit more to your style or whatever.
I mean, so like, you know, you say slow paced and stuff, and I know that you've played Kingdom now. Which, did we ever talk about Kingdom on the show?
I don't know, actually. I
think you were intending to, but then we never got to.
Yeah, it might have been.
Right?
Or we adding another quick bite in here?
Well, no, I'm just wondering, and
I'd say it's a different kind of slow, because with Kingdom, the map from left to right is pretty long, and you know it takes a while to travel.
You're constantly doing something.
Yeah, where this map is like, these maps are pretty tiny, and your units move pretty quickly. So, you know, and you can use the touchscreen, actually. I was doing that a little bit. I would recommend the controller. It's just a little quicker and easier. But it's like the islands are small, so it's like when you're waiting, it's like when you're waiting in Kingdom, it's like, well, I need to travel back to this area anyway, so I'm sort of occupied. And, like, it's slow-paced, but, like, you're doing something. Where Kingdom, it's more like, all right, I'm waiting, and I'm sort of rotating my camera in a circle to see where the Vikings are going to strike from first. Then I see them coming, and I'm like, okay, now I'll move my units over to that area, and then they, like, wait for him to hit the island, and then they attack.
Okay.
So, it's just a little slower-paced. Not necessarily in a bad way, but when I looked at it initially, I was thinking it'd be a little bit quicker-paced.
Yeah. And so, I mean, are you enjoying it?
Yeah, like I said, it's not bad. It's just sort of fallen to the wayside a little bit since, you know, in the past week or so. So I'd like to get back to it, but I don't know, you know, it's not high on the priority list right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, because there's a lot of games, right? I mean, you've been playing a lot, you've been reviewing a lot.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. That's another. I didn't even mention that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could talk about that game too. All right.
We'll talk about okay.
And then my last quick bite, and this is going to be a quick bite just because we've talked about this game for this will be the third straight week.
Yeah. The Messenger.
Yes.
How far have you gotten? How much have you played?
I just beat the second boss.
Okay.
The Golem.
Okay.
Yeah. And whoo, baby. Oh, baby. It is as advertised, man. That game is
fantastic?
So good. The music, the environments, just like the combat, the movement, everything. Then like you said, I was doing the shopkeepers' tales have become, you know, sort of well known, and just reading them are pretty funny about like breaking the fourth wall and just honestly, if our ramblings haven't done enough for you, at least go check the game out. You guys owe yourself at least that much. A very, very, very good game. And like I said, I'm at this point, I've just scratched the surface. I'm very excited to continue through at that one. But
awesome.
But now you've got some quick bites too, don't you?
I do, and one of them being Flipping Death, which is a game that I've been meaning to talk about for a long time. It's just we've just been cut off by some time, and then by
lost audio,
just time, and then also excess amounts of games. But so Flipping Death, we've talked about this for almost as long as this podcast has been going.
Yeah,
it seems like. I mean, we have 2 interviews at 2 PAXs, you know, so it's like crazy. And it's about everything that I hoped it would be. It's Stick It to the Man 2. basically, I mean, it's that same concept. I mean, you're walking and talking to people. Really quirky adventure game mixed in with platforming. The platforming on one side is on the human side, on the living side, it's more focused on the adventure aspect, talking to people. Still platforming, and then on the other side, on the death side, there's more platforming, and there's little creatures and stuff that you can collect that you're trying to get. That's kind of difficult to grab. You use your scythe to your scythe to throw it and stick to stuff, and you can go to your scythe, and it works pretty well. It's kind of janky, a little janky actually. I don't know if it's just because the frame rate's not silky smooth on the Switch, but it's not bad. But I was surprised at how. And even, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, because Stick It to the Man's platforming wasn't good. It was just kind of weird, because you have a big character, and the way you walk, and everyone walks, is just really funny looking, and which is, obviously supposed to be like that. But it's not a huge part of the game, so it's like you're not going to be walking around and dying because you're falling. You know what I mean? It's not like a...
Yeah,
It's not a big deal. So, I mean, so platforming is just more of a way of traversal, as in a challenge. But like I said, there is challenge with the collection stuff, but really just obnoxiously wacky, laugh out loud funny writing, story conceits. I mean, everything I played through the first chapter, and it's it's so weird, right? I mean, it is just beyond bizarre. So it's everything you'd want. I honestly, and Casey, I don't think you've had Stick It to the Man or Flipping Death, but it's really worth. It honestly is worth just checking out and seeing and watching.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough, obviously, with the PAXs I've seen it in motion, and I've played a little bit of it. And I did
it's
say,
a fantastic.
Yeah, I've said, I know that first PAX I was like, meh. And that second PAX this previous year, it sold me much more on it. Where, like I said, I'm not a huge adventure game kind of fan, but it did enough where I'd say that if I was going to check out an adventure game, it would be in that elk. I would check out Flipping Death.
But I almost feel like holding it as an adventure game makes it seem.
It doesn't give it.
It's kind of like saying. Well, it's just kind of like saying, if I was going to check out a tower defense game, I would play Kingdom. It's not really, that's not really what it's about, that it is a tower defense game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
it's not that it is an adventure game. It's so much better, because it's actually, really funny and great acting and writing, that it doesn't really seem like an adventure game. It just kind of seems like a fun storytelling and Tim Burton-esque, Henry Cavill type world, but it's really fun. So I just, if you ever, I'm just saying, I think that Kate would like it. I think if you just sat down and it's just funny. It's just and I think it's totally your humor too. But
she loves Fia too, so I'm sure she likes that art style. So I'm sure she would.
Oh yeah,
maybe it could be an I Demand You one day. Who knows?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, Stick It to the Man is they're so good. So fun to see that there's a pseudo sequel out to it. I mean, they aren't calling it a sequel, but they've said it's kind of
it's
like
a spiritual, yeah.
Yes, spiritual successor.
They missed a nice.
I know, why didn't they say
advertising mark right there?
I'm sure they've said that somewhere. I'm sure they had that in a trailer. The spiritual successor. But
if not, they should.
I just have to mention that when you meet Death, he is genuinely hilarious, and he's not anything like what you'd expect of Death. It's
hopefully
funny.
Death's like that in real life.
It's so
hey,
funny,
Barry, dude. What's going on, you big Jimmy?
Boy, get away from me, Casey.
He's like, no, we're going to kick it in heaven. And then he strikes you down.
Kicking it in heaven.
In hell. Yeah.
But I got one more to talk about.
Oh, I wonder what it could be.
I bet you know what it is. I bet you know what it is. What is it?
More Dead Cells.
Yes, Dead Cells. I beat it. I beat it actually before the episode posted last week. Even though at the end
you should have edited in there.
I know.
I did it.
Oh, it was so satisfying. Woo! And it took me around. It's because you don't really know, but I know it was at least 45 hours.
Dang, dude.
Of playtime, which is more time I put in a game than
you put
any game
more than Mario Odyssey,
2 years.
probably.
Oh yeah, over twice.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, over twice the amount of time into it, and it was so good. And I still get cravings now, but it's like I was so happy to beat it because I have like so many other games to play. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I'm not enjoying it. I really was
polishing
enjoying it.
off a game, even if you, like you said, if you love it. Like towards the end of Xenoblade, it's like I've been playing this game for so many hours and I love it, but I am ready to move on to something new.
Yep.
Let's get to it.
I don't know if I'm actually completely ready to move on to something new.
Yeah.
But I just thought I need to because I have a lot of games.
You close the chapter.
Oh my goodness, I got Mega Man X Legacy Collection, Poi, Sushi Striker, Flinthook. I got the new what's it called? What's that Japanese game made by the Beautiful Joe guys? I'm looking at the case.
Okami? No.
I got Okami. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got that physical from Japan.
You dirty dog.
It looks amazing. Anyway, so just a bunch of games, right, that I want to play. So, but yeah, I beat Dead Cells. It's fantastic. I realized, without even knowing, that I had been at the finals guide twice before.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I think how it works is like if you went through the game without going through any secret passages and stuff, there's 3 levels, and then a boss, then 2 bigger levels, and then a boss, and then 1 giant level, and then a boss, I think. That's how it works. So, which is kind of cool. And they all get a little more intricate and devious and crazy. But if everyone wants to know what I was using, it was an ice bow, like a legendary ice bow that I had leveled up all the way. Not all the way, because I think you can. There is a max, but that paired with a, actually, those daggers that on every 3rd hit it's a critical hit.
Those are nice.
Yeah, and so those are both paired up with the same power, meaning it was because if they're legendary, then it's the highest power wins, or the highest ranked power. That's what they are. So it was brutality. So my DPS was insane, and I just took it down. And you freeze them, and then you take them out, and you just gotta learn their techniques, and it was awesome, and I beat it, and woo! I love that game, baby. Love that game. And I tell you what, you'll definitely hear me talking about that game on our Game of the Awards show. Game of the Year.
Game of the Awards.
Game of Awards show.
That's what it should be called. Yeah,
the GOAs.
The inaugural.
But I really love Dead Cells. But
I've actually got one more quick bite here.
Let's do it.
And that is Lifeless Planet. Now, this is a review, but I could pretty much speak on it pretty quickly. If you really want the full impressions, you can check out the review on NWR. But
skadoosh.
This is sort of it's like an exploration game. One might even compare it similar to a walking sim almost, but there is some platforming and puzzling elements. Essentially, you are a nameless astronaut blasting off into space to find signs of life in foreign planets, and you end up crashing on this one, and it seems like it's completely lifeless, thus the name. And
communist.
Yes, exactly. You actually so you go there and you're like, oh, where I'm in this planet. It's looks like it's dying, it's dead. Oh my god, I'm alone. Then all of a sudden you stumble upon a Russian town, and you're like, what the heck? And
that's awesome. That's such a sweet idea for a game.
Yeah, and it's all abandoned. And then as you find through memos and audiobooks, you sort of uncover the story of how the Russians got there to begin with, and then what happened to the planet. And the story is interesting. It's not so captivating that it's unbelievable. But I thought it was a pretty interesting narrative. But the platform, it looks like an N64 game, and it plays like one too with the platforming, oh, gotta adjust that camera real good to get this jump lined up, you know what I mean? And it's just and you got a jetpack, and so you could jump once, and then you could tap your jetpack, and it gives you the smallest little boost, it's just it's like a bump, yeah, it's yeah, it sounds like that, it's and you actually get unlimited or not unlimited, you get like an extended boost in certain areas, which that's actually fun because then you just can like hammer that button like 7 or 8 times, so you can actually get height or like super long jumps. But they take it away from you, and it's like, oh, back to this little pooper, you know.
Yeah.
But
they pulled a Metroid.
Yeah, those dogs. But yeah, I mean, it's just the platforming is not very good. You know, it can get frustrating. The puzzles are pretty mundane. It's like, oh, grab that ball and bring it over to here. And then like, oh, use your little robotic arm to pick that up from where you just put it and put in like a little hole. You know, it's like, it's the game itself isn't all that much fun. But like the narrative is a little interesting. So it's like, It's got that going for it. But
that's good.
I mean,
that sounds like a cool idea.
Yeah, it's just, it sounds cool, and it's just not that much fun to play, honestly, you know? Which is a shame. And like the whole game is sort of like boring, like blah, you know? It's like, I get they're going for the Lifeless Planet, so it's like everything's very like deadish. But it just sort of gets like boring to look at too.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
So I mean, it is called Lifeless Planet.
Yeah, no, they hit that on the head, but
pretty lifeless.
And like you get to one area where it was like lava and molten, like, so it's all smoky, and you're like, okay, this is a nice change of pace. But then it's like, oh, now it's even harder to find like the path forward when you're like jumping over these big gaps. And like, oh, if you jump the wrong way, it's like, oh no, that area is lava, and then you just burn up and die. And it's like, So it's a lot of sort of jumping and guessing, but yeah. But that's enough of these quick bites, because they went like 25 minutes almost, or 20 minutes. Yep. So why don't we...
there's like 7 of them, so those are quick.
We ate too many appetizers. I hope there's room for a full dish. And I tell you
stuffed.
what, there's definitely a full dish coming, because we got some more games to talk about here. Perry.
It sounds like we're about to go to commercial.
Yeah. We'll see you on the other side.
In fact, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with Morphie's Law. We're back, and it's time for Morphie's Law. Yeah, okay, so this is, unfortunately got lost last week. By me. It was all my fault. It was not Casey's fault. So, does that make you feel better, Casey?
Yes.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
That's disappointing. Morphie's Law. Okay, yes. That's disappointing.
Oh, no.
That's a good way to put it.
And that's it. That's the quick bite.
That's it. Yeah, nope, that's not a quick bite. That's an entree. We're all going to marinate on this one. No, okay, so we were all looking forward to Morphie's Law. I feel like, you know, it was a cool-looking game. It is a cool-looking game. Like, it's a cool, fun-looking game. This squad-based third-person shooter where you have a team of 4 versus 4, and you're shooting each other, but instead of shooting bullets and shooting off eyeballs and heads and necks, you're actually shooting and stealing their mass from them and getting like gigantic thighs and
the thighs you've always dreamed of having.
Ooh, steel and buns of steel. And which is funny. It's great, right? I mean, that concept sounds awesome. You know, you go around and they play a little tutorial. It shows you going through, and it's like, okay, hey, you want to jump up to that platform? Well, you have to shoot the legs of that guy that's standing right there, not shooting at you, and then your legs will get bigger, and then you can jump up to that platform. It's like, oh, this is kind of fun. This is like a Mario or a Splatoon kind of idea, you know?
Yeah, like thinking outside the box.
Yeah, like, okay, cool. And then like, you know, and then that's it, right? Then that's like you're done with the tutorial. It's like, oh, okay, there's really nothing else besides that. And then outside of that, you have a jetpack. So at all times, you have a jetpack, which kind of sidesteps the whole idea of shooting at someone's legs to get bigger legs, because you can always have a jetpack that you can use to get to any spot you really want to.
I would say those little baby legs might actually help your jetpack go better. There's less weight.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome, actually. But, so what happens? Why? So I kind of preluded us with saying that it's disappointing. Well, so the game runs great. I mean, for the most part, I say it's great. It's 60-ish frames per second, so it looks smooth most of the time, but there's a lot of lag online, and like it's not really like it's consistently inconsistent, which is I think is what I tried to say last time. It's always like not very like it always lets you down. It's just you play in and everything. Your characters move really fast, and the shooting just doesn't feel. The shooting and the running and the jumping doesn't feel good, and in a third-person shooter, that's kind of important, right?
Yeah, it's like the most important thing.
Yeah, like, I mean, so, like, for instance, the hook of this game is you're shooting people, stealing their masks. That sounds cool on paper. Like, that sounds like a really fun idea. Like, okay, I'm getting bigger, so now I'm a bigger target, and I'm slower. But so other people can see me, and they can shoot me easier. And then, okay, someone's shooting me, I'm smaller now than them, and I can run faster, so it's harder to shoot me. Boom, there's the balancing, right? Well, the game is just too fast, and the when you shoot someone, it doesn't feel satisfying, and you don't really know if you're shooting them. Like, there's no like
indication that it was
a
hit or something.
No indication. There's like a tiny noise, but it still like doesn't even like make sense. And then on top of that, it just, you never have to use that mass stealing game mechanic like in Splatoon. In Splatoon, you literally like 24/7 are using shooting your ink and swimming in it, like for everything,
Yeah, it's
climbing
the
up the
loop.
wall.
It's the game loop. Yeah,
it is. It's fantastic. I mean, like you literally once you start, you throw out your weapon or you shoot your thing and you swim in your ink, and it's like boom, I'm literally using it for the second. And the gameplay is fast, but it works fast. It's that good. You can hide in your ink. It's awesome. This game, it tries, but it just ends up not hitting the mark because, like the shooting, for one, like on one part is, it's all from the hip. There is no aimed down sight, like when you hold the L button and then it pulls up your gun and then you have a better aim. Mm-hmm. There is none of that.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's super weird. And then on top of that, you have two weapons that you shoot, one with the R button, one with the ZR button, which feels kind of weird. It's kind of cool. I mean, not a big deal. I mean, that makes sense, but it's weird and there's no aimed downside. But, so like that's one of the cool things about the game is there's two different kinds of weapons. Like you have two different weapons at your disposal, which I guess is like Splatoon. You get your sub weapon, but with these weapons, so like one of them is, for instance, one of them shoots and like it's not as fast and it has to charge, but it shoots bullets that hurt people a lot more. Yeah. So they take them out easier, and then when you take out, you just respawn. And then the other one I think is kind of you're constantly the same, for the most part, where it's a constant shooter that can steal, but it's like you're shooting them or you're stealing their masks, So, and then you get new weapons and you can play around with combining the different things. Like I got this ink shooter, kind of like Splatoon, where you spray it on the ground and then it will be slippery for the other team, but when your team stands in it, it'll heal them. That's awesome. Like that's a really cool idea, because you do have health and it goes down really fast. And that's the other part is when people are shooting, like so many times I'll be shooting at someone and then I'll just get shot, like, and it's like, where's that coming from? Am I really being shot? Boom! 1 second later, I am, and I'm dead now. And it's just like that. Okay, like I didn't feel good because I don't even know who shot me. Or it says who doesn't, but you don't really know at the time.
Yeah, you don't know where they're really coming from.
And it's just like it just doesn't feel good. And then there's stage hazards in the game that, there's stage hazards in every game, every shooter, hopefully, they can be fun, but these ones just aren't fun. They're weird and they don't feel good. Like there's this big fan that's in the game that you'll just walk over it and it'll just push you up into spikes and you're dead.
Ugh.
And you don't.
Yeah, that's cheap. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
or clever or fun.
What did this do? All this did was it killed me. Now I have to start from the beginning, Like, it's not like it pushed me up, and then I got hurt, and I got stuck for a second, and someone could shoot me.
Yeah, like made you vulnerable for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then like there's other ones, the fans are facing outward, and it just pushes you off the map. It's just
it sounds like a bad...
like you don't have time.
I was to say, it sounds like a bad level in like Super Mario Maker, where it's just like, oh, cheap death.
Yeah, it is. It's cheap death. Never feels good. And I talked with Justin about it too, and he agreed. You know, it's just like it doesn't really feel good, like the stage hazards, for instance, in like Splatoon, like a rotating map, like a rotating cube that if you fall off of it, you'll fall into the water. You know, so there's like parts that there's nothing like that because the platforming is not that good. You know, it's just all kind of convoluted and. It's a real shame because it could have been really cool.
And didn't you say there are only like 4 maps?
Yeah, there's 4 maps, and they're really cool looking. They're really fun looking. Day of the Dead theme. You know, it's these funny looking guys, and it has a great character for the game. Great sound effects, great music. But all the maps look like they're from like the same area. You know, like they're all the same aesthetic, and they all have different unique hooks. But there's only 4 of them. And that's just not a lot. Even like Splatoon, the first one, it had 5, which is really funny to think about.
That is crazy. Well, I mean, I guess they continued to add more,
but then they,
yeah.
Every like week or 2 weeks they added more. So, but yeah, it's just there could be an update to the game where it would fix a lot of the issues, and it could be a pretty sweet game. But as it is now, it's just not that fun. Like, it's just not fun. So that's just a bad thing to me, and I did the review, and I was dreading like the playing online because it just wasn't fun. I was just like, this is so boring and I don't feel like it's fair. And sure, it could be because of lag and stuff.
Yeah, but then that still would be,
that's part of it. I mean, you know what I mean? And they released it, and so I know they've said that they've put in a patch and everything. And I hope it comes in and it turns out it's really cool, and that would be awesome because I love the look and feel of the game. I love the idea, but I just feel like even if there's a patch to fix lag, the main concept of the game just doesn't work like as good as other fun ideas. So anyway, and it's $20, so it's pretty dang expensive.
Yeah, it's a premium indie game price, It
is, and for having 4 levels, has a great amount of customization, which is a lot of fun. But like, what do you care about customization if you don't like the game?
Yeah, so it's not worth the lemon ain't worth the squeeze.
Yeah, you just said that a couple episodes ago. That's funny. The lemon ain't worth the squeeze. So that's Morphie's Law. Check out gameplay and stuff. Check out my review at NintendoWorldReport.com. Thank you. But next up, we have yet another game from the lost levels of last week.
The lost levels, I like it.
Which is what? What do we got?
Shio. Yes, Shio or Siho. Definitely not Siho.
It's Shio.
Yeah, okay.
Would you just call it Shio? It's not Shiho. It's not Shio. It's Shio.
Yes, that's what I've been saying the whole time.
You said Shiho.
What do you got? Earwax in your ears?
What's the matter, kid? You got wax in your ears?
But yes, this is
5 points to anyone who knows that reference.
-5 for me.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is a cool little platformer that tries to tell some sort of story, but doesn't really do it in a very clear way. So for starters, it's got a really cool art style. It's very Japanese influenced, so a lot of the areas you're sort of going through look sort of like what you might like. They look like Japanese buildings, or like when you're running through the towns, you know what I mean, with like the sliding sheet doors. Or not sheet, but you know what I mean. So I really dig the art style, and your character is, he travels around. He's got like a little, like, I don't know exactly what's in his hand. If it's like it's some sort of lantern, or essentially there are lanterns all around the map. And when you jump in the air, you like you hit it with whatever's in your hand. And like I said, it's not like a sword or anything, but of course now I can't like visualize what was in his hand off the top of my head. But essentially you're going to jump, and what you're going to do is you're going to hit that lantern in the air, and then it gives you another jump. So it's sort of like cloud stepping, right? Like in the messenger. Yeah, so it's sort of similar to that. It's a little different because, it feels a little different because we had Justin Nation on last week, and we talked about this game, and we sort of lost that. But the way he said it was that it's like he would press the jump in the air, and then he would hit the button to hit the lantern, and then he would almost hit it again when he actually hit the lantern. You know what I mean? Like he'd hit it twice. It was almost like a delay from when you'd hit the button to when it actually like gets the hitbox going in the game, you know?
Oh.
So it feels a little weird at first, but I think once you sort of get that, you know what I mean? Once like you've played around with it a little bit, you just sort of get used to it. But it does feel a little strange at times. But what's cool is that the game has a lot of mini puzzles, and it's pretty forgiving. So if you were to mess up on any given platform puzzle, you would go right back to just pretty much the beginning of the puzzle. So like they have a little checkpoint, and it's always very close. So you're never going to lose like a ton of progress, which is nice, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, in the beginning, it's pretty simple. Like, hey, like just hit a couple of these lanterns, and you know, to bridge the gap. Then they start like, oh, now fireballs are coming. So now it's like, all right, now I need to hit the lantern, but also like not get hit with these fireballs, and all of a sudden they're coming in at different speeds and heights. So, you know, it makes it, you know, work for it. And then, you know, then all of a sudden big spiky wheels are introduced, and you got to get over them. But then, you know, as you continue, all of a sudden now they're moving around, and they just keep throwing new things at you. They get like airflows. So now all of a sudden, when you do your jump over to the airflow, it shoots you straight up in the air. And, you know, like one of the earlier instances of that is like they shoot you straight up, and it's like, okay, I'm going straight up, but then like the tunnel, like on the right hand side, it's pretty straight, but the left starts coming in to make it tighter, and then all of a sudden now you're sort of weaving in and out of these walls as you're just sort of riding the current. So it gets sort of tricky, but I have not beaten the game yet. I guess there are two difficulties. I've been playing on the easier.
I wonder which one you pick. Oh,
the Jimmy.
Big surprise.
Yeah. Shut up, you bully. But yeah, so it's you know, hasn't been too difficult. Like there's definitely challenging bits, but like I said, what's nice is that you go right back to that first spot, so that, or right back to the beginning of that puzzle. So it's nice that, you know, in my old age, you know, I like these easier, more forgiving games, Perry. But yeah, there are story elements going on, but it's very confusing to know what's going on. And when you're playing in handheld, the text is so incredibly small, it's difficult to even read. Like, you really need to pull it, like, because it's just, like, so you'll...
Your monocle out.
Yeah, I need, like, remember the Game Boy Player thing, where, like, it's just, like, the big lens that folds up and over the screen to just magnify it?
Yeah.
You need one of those for your Switch. Because what it is, it's just like a lot of text in like a bubble. So it's like, oh, it's just like, it's pretty shrunk down on the Switch screen.
Right.
But honestly, it's like I got to the point where I was like, you know what, like, it's like I don't really know what's going on story-wise, and like I honestly really don't care, you know? It's like I'm going, like,
right.
I'm playing this to play the platforming and stuff, you know?
Right.
So, there are like little hidden lanterns that you can like sort of hit, like for instance they have the path, and then if you go down low where you might think like, oh, I might fall and die, you go down there and there's another lantern you hit, and then all of a sudden you got like I said, I think it was like a recipe or something. So it's like, and there's no crafting, or at least not that I've gotten up to, and I'm almost positive not throughout the game. But it's like, I'm like, I don't know what this has to do with much, you know, but like, okay. Like, you'll get to points, too, where it's like, oh, all right, I've hit this one platform, and it's clear it's just, like, a nice, long, straight, like, there's little buildings that I can interact with people. Like there was one like interactive. It's like it's a pile of garbage. Place the wine glass, and I'm like, where did I get a wine glass? You know, like what? Like okay, like we could throw that in there, I guess. You know, like I don't know if that will recycle. You know, sure.
Yeah, why not?
And like there's one time like my guy just like was like, all right,
you have killed yourself.
Yeah, you have ended the game. And like I like fell
funny.
asleep on a bench, and then I went into like this was a more difficult platforming area. So I'm like, okay, it's like I guess that's maybe the cool sort of like, hey, if you want more of a challenge, you know, sort of jump, you know, these different areas maybe. But I should say, I know Justin had mentioned it gets to a point where it just like exponentially gets more difficult, and it almost feels unfair. So I've not gotten up to that point, but it should be warned if you are going to check this game out that apparently like the latter half, or maybe not necessarily even the half, but like the latter part of the game really ramps up the difficulty. So that might be something to watch out for. You know, I don't know if he was playing on the baby mode like I was, or if he was playing the normal or the harder one. But yeah, so no, definitely an interesting little platformer. You know, it's like I said, it feels a little weird at first, but you sort of get used to it. And I think the puzzles, you know, and the platforming, they have some clever ideas. But yeah, as far as the story goes, it's sort of whatever, you know, which I feel like is sort of happens to not all platformers, but you know. It's like, I feel like platformers can get away with like, oh, just whatever story, who cares? You're just going through to play, you know?
Right.
But yeah, so...
But the platforming is okay.
Like I said, it's strange at first, but once you sort of get used to how it feels, like I said, they ramp up with some cool ideas, so...
Gotcha. Well, good.
But
that's
yeah.
Shio.
What did you say, you pervert?
I said that's Shio.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was. Are you putting sound bits in again, Perry, you jerk? Now I can just say random ones.
Like, it's not like a sound. I think I'd love to make a soundboard that.
Did you put gravy on my turkey?
Yeah, like you're just saying weird stuff like that.
Yeah, like, dang it, Perry, I told you not to do that.
You know, yeah, you should just start and like laughing like when I'm telling like sad stories and stuff. And then, yeah. That's so funny. Well, we got 3 more games to talk about. Can you believe it? So let's get right into it. And one of them I actually was playing while you were talking.
Jerk 'em.
And that is Into the Breach.
It sounds petrifying.
Yeah, so this is a game that I requested a code for, and I got it. And no. Well, yeah, and I didn't. I basically got it because I heard it was good, and then I was like, okay, I have a chance to play a game without actually knowing what it is. You know?
Yeah. You didn't even
fun.
know it was like a strategy game, right? Like
yeah. So
grid-based strategy game.
It turns out it's an RPG. It's an SR RPG, and like Advance Wars or
Fire Emblem, yeah.
I'd say Fire more Light, right?
Yeah. I'd say it's more akin, or at least by visually, it looks more akin to like an Advance Wars, but maybe a little more
or
gritty.
Tactics, even.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, and because it's the isometric view.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't. I mean, I think the only reason they picked that is so it wouldn't look like Advance Wars.
Yeah.
It's a cool view. It's fun. I sometimes it's kind of not practical because it's like makes it harder to see stuff, but that's okay.
That's part of the strategy.
Yeah,
Jim.
so this is just a pretty... It's kind of cool because it has a roguelite way of unlocking and progressing in this game, which is interesting, right, for an Advanced Wars-like game.
Mm-hmm.
So what it is you have... there's like 4 islands or 5 islands. I've gotten to the 4th one. And... you have, every time you drop in, and it's kind of like Pacific Rim, in the fact of it's like you're fighting monsters that are invading and you're dropping giant mechs to beat them. That's kind of like the story idea. And so each, you can unlock different sets of mechs, and then you can upgrade your mechs as you're playing. And then it's kind of cool because like when you die, you can take one of the commander leaders that hasn't died with you, or just any of your. So if you've leveled up that guy, then you'll start off your next run with the leveled up guy. Kind of a cool thing, right?
Is it individual runs or yeah, right?
Yep.
Is it
like once you die,
roguelite?
You're dead. Yep. Once you're done, you're dead. You have to start over.
You can't let them work if they're dead.
It's let them live.
Let them work. Let them live.
Let them live. And so one of the big things is like the big hook with this game, which separates it from Fire Emblem Advanced Wars, blah 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 blah, is you a lot of time the actual combat, the strategy is in like pushing other creatures into other creatures. So a big part of it is like not only am I attacking that person, but when I attack them at this direction, it's going to push them. It shoves them into the next one.
Little Mario plus Rabbids.
Yeah, now I'm kind of forgetting. Yeah, right. That was part of it,
I think
right?
there are certain abilities that would knock them backwards. Yeah, not necessarily every time, but
anyway. But yeah, that's a big part of it, and so. It's like you can it's kind of cool because like the idea is like, okay, there's this enemy and it's going to shoot this acid over to this city. I mean, it's going to, it's going to shoot at it and then the city's 4 tiles away, right? Well, there's also this guy that's attacking me. But if I punch him, it will push that enemy away from me and into the trajectory of the other guy that was going to hit the city.
Now he's going to hit his buddy.
He's going to hit his buddy, yeah. So it's kind of...
You showed him who's boss.
Like 2 birds with 1 stone, I tell you. So now the main... So that's one aspect. The other aspect is it's not really about you necessarily... you're not really worried about your actual tanks losing health and dying. But you're worried... The whole point is so you don't get any cities and casualties attacked. That's your life gauge for your whole run. So, like for instance, you'll start off a run. I'll look right here with. Let's see. Okay, so I have there's 7 spots, 7 things of health, and you start off with like 5. And if you get hit, that's one block. So if you get hit 5 times, if you're dead the whole run. Super punishing, right? Mm-hmm. So and it can be hard because like. There can be like on this map. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different spots with cities in it, with buildings, and if any of them gets hit, then that's 1 point off. So now you can earn. So that's called they call it the power grid, and then you can also earn them back by completing missions. Some of them you can earn a power grid back, like a hit back. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can
I totally
earn your health back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
what are these missions like? Are they just like, hey, kill 5 enemies or something?
Yeah, there are. Well, yeah, actually there's missions within each level. So
like
for instance,
sub-missions,
like the first island, there's like 7 different levels to it, and you can pick any one, and then in each of them you can see, okay, in this one, you can either earn a star, which is like your currency to upgrade your stuff, and or a lightning bolt, which is like a charge to your power grid, which is like your health. And sometimes they have pods, which pods are things you have to just collect while you're playing, and then that will give you, it's like another form of currency to upgrade your stuff. So I hope I'm not losing you, but it's just like each one can have either one of those or 2 of those or 3 of those, in any order. Some of them don't have any health you can get back. Some of them you have the stars or 2 stars, So
yeah.
Does that make sense? So, but you have to earn those stars. You have to do challenges within the level. So you can beat the level without getting any of these, but they're usually pretty easy. Like most time it's like protect the coal plant, which is like the one different looking building on there. Like it's just as long as that doesn't get hit, then you beat it.
You'll earn it, yeah.
So you just gotta watch out for that one. But you don't want any cities to get hit at all. Like that's the big thing.
Yeah, it's top priority. Keep it all rolling.
And like one of them, so once you kill monsters, they'll keep spawning, right? And you'll know. The cool thing is there's not really any cheap tactics that I've seen where they've spawned and they attack, like Fire Emblem, fire.
Oh, that was that back in the day when I used to play that. Like, I'd play like no. Well, I played it before the casual. But like the worst was let me mop up these last couple enemies just to get some extra experience before claiming the throne. And all of a sudden it was like, no, 4 archers just spawned by my Pegasus Knight.
Pegasus. I love how you say Pegasus.
Pegasus.
You've always said Pegasus Knight. It's the best. Yeah, exactly. That's the worst, right? And there's nothing like that. You always, like, even on each turn, they always have, like, they always set up their attacks. So it's really nice because it's like, okay, I see that monster coming, and it's going to move, and it's going to say where it's going to attack. So you have a whole turn to decide to get out of its way, you know? So it's nice. You always know where they're going to attack, and then you can always see when they're going to spawn. They come up through, like, the earth. And you can actually go... The cool thing is, like, you can go and step on them so they can't spawn. But then you'll get hit. You'll get hit with one, you know, like, that'll hurt you. But it can be nice. But the best thing is when you knock an enemy onto one of them. Because then the enemy can't spawn, and it hurts that enemy that you knocked on top of it.
The old double whammy.
The double whammy, exactly. So... lots of good stuff with the game. But the big thing here is just to know that this game is hard and it's punishing, and it can seem like almost like a little too dynamically punishing, like where it's like too much and you think like everything's over, but then like you hang on by a thread and then you win, and it's like, and then you slowly start building up. It's like, okay, this actually has a pretty good balancing, but I'd say that the balancing is like 80% good. But with the 20% of kind of randomness that's kind of seems unfair. And I say unfair because I know I just said that everything is pretty fair with how they set up their attacks. But sometimes it's like, because you have to drop your enemies, you drop your mechs in, you can pick different spots to put them. But when you drop them in, and then the enemies move, it's like sometimes it's like literally impossible to stop them from attacking a city. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that just doesn't feel good. So it's kind of, so you're kind of doing damage control and trying to get stuff ready. Now you do get one turn. You can reverse things your turn, like per level. You can go back and
rewind
change stuff,
it,
which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You'll rewind.
But it's like, yeah, so that's good. But the game's very hard. So for people who are, I mean, it's a roguelite. It's pretty hard. But if you like Advanced Wars, if you like roguelites, if you like that system,
might be right up your alley.
I do want to say that it's kind of perplexing. The systems, like, they're kind of weird. Like, they don't really tell you how to upgrade stuff, and like, it's just weird how you do it. But once you kind of understand what's going on, it feels better, and yeah, it's fun. And the going through different islands is fun. It's a fun game. I'm glad I'm playing it. It's a lot of fun. I'm still playing it now. Enjoying it. It's cool. So that's Into the Breach.
Boom.
On the eShop right now, I believe.
Yes, sir. It was right after it was announced it was on the eShop.
That's right. I forgot.
You big Jimmy.
Jimbot Central. But we have another high-profile game that is coming out that you've been playing.
Yes, sir.
That I've always wanted to hear about. It's one of those things where I've heard it's like Zelda, kind of, and it has really stylized, and it's really cool, and it's hard, but ever since, it's like, okay, I looked at it, I know I wanted to play it, so I kind of put it off the front burner. It's like, okay, I now know.
Yeah, when there's a lull.
Yeah, well, no, I just know that when it's coming to Switch, because it's been the first thing it's been on Nintendo console.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, so what is this game?
This is Hyper Light Drifter. Alrighty, so this game, it's sort of, it really throws you to the wolves because, you know, a little intro or whatever, and then it's pretty much like, hey, you can go up, down, left, or right, good luck. And it's like, like, all right.
It's kind of like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it doesn't really give you much direction. So I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe I'll go north. And I was like, you know what? I was thinking it's Zelda inspiration. I was like, you know what? Maybe to the east is the first, like the easiest area, you know? Because I'm thinking like, like in you know, Link to the Past, you go over to the desert area over there. So I'm like, you know, maybe that's the easiest route to go. So
dirty dog.
So I went over that way, and it's a little.
That's cheating.
Yeah, you're cheating, boy. It's a little confusing at first because you don't really know what's going on. So it's like you're going through and you've got like you've got your attack ability. You could dodge and stuff or dash, and obviously like Hyperlight Drifter. It sounds like you'd be fast paced, right? Like Hyperlight, obviously drifting around. So you get this like dash, and at first I didn't even realize that it was like you could time it so that you could really dash like I think in the beginning, I think you're allowed 3 dashes. And as you go around, you pretty much, you find these little chips. And when you get 4 of them, it becomes like a piece of currency, essentially. And like when you gather a bunch of these, you can go and you can upgrade your abilities, whether it be your attacks or your drifting. And so at first I'm like, you know, after I got my first set of 3, I went back and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, get another attack. And I was like, you know what? I'm going with the drifter. Like, I'm gonna get, like, I want to be able to, like, dash around this world like crazy. And then that's when I realized, like, you could already dash up to 3 times, but now, I upgraded it, and you can continuously dash as long as you can last. And it's weird because, like, normally you'd think dashing, you'd want to be, like, quick on the button presses, but it's actually very, sort of, it's a slow button press for a dash. Like, you hit it, and it's very late in the animation that you hit it again. So it's a little difficult to get the timing right, but like for me, like I'll have trouble sometimes, but once I get one, it's normally I can get a couple of them in a row. But it's funny, if you get more than 3 or 4, all of a sudden when you stop, you end up doing like you keep moving forward, like it's almost like you're trying to come to a screeching stop in the cartoons and you just keep going for a little bit, you know? Which is funny because that's led me into a hole once or twice. But essentially, you're going through, and like you get to this thing, and there's like 4 triangles that are spread around this area, and then like a boss. And you're like, okay, like this is all right. Like I guess I want to work my way to the boss, and it's weird because the map is sort of confusing, because essentially like you'll be going around in this overworld, and then like you'll find sort of like an elevator shaft thing that brings you down underground, and it's just at first it was a little confusing to read the
like
map.
A cave?
Yeah, it would bring you underneath the ground, and it'd be like a series of rooms and stuff to do. And at first,
or like Pikmin.
No, not quite. Is this an audio bite?
No, like Pikmin.
No, I'm kidding.
You have those little, or Pikmin 2.
But it's like the map is
like Fire Emblem Light.
Exactly.
Right? I guess. Well.
Yeah. Not really.
Yeah.
It's disappointing. But yeah. So it's a little confusing with the maps because just like how like above ground and underground. So in the beginning, I was getting a little turned up and getting a little lost. But then once you sort of, like, okay, I get how that works. But it's fun because the enemies aren't just, like, one hit. They all have varying hit points, and they all do different things. So each enemy, you know, you're going to run into the same set of enemies within that area, of course. But they have enough variety that it's fresh, and, like, the fights are fun, and it's fun to get in there and sort of, like, all right, to get a couple hits in and sort of dash back out. You know, being able to do things quickly, but also being, you know, strong defensively. It's sort of like a risk-reward sense in that sense. You know, again, if you die, it's not like so punishing. You know, like the game saves quite a bit. But the boss was pretty darn difficult. But it's one of those like you go in there and you feel completely lost at first. You know, you're like, oh my god, like, how am I ever going to beat this guy? And then you go in and you sort of like, oh, there are the little patterns and the tells, and you're able to get through it. But it is definitely a difficult game. But at first I found myself like not really, I was like, man, maybe it's just a case of the hype. You know, the hype is so high that...
The hyper light drifter.
Hype light drifter. It was too high, you know, and I was like, But then after I sort of, like I said, after I sort of was like, okay, this is how that works, okay. And it had started to click where I found myself like, oh, it's getting a little late. Like, let me find that next triangle, you know? And then all of a sudden it's like, let me go get the boss, you know?
Find that next triangle.
Yeah, I need the triangle, dang it. But yeah, I'm 2 bosses down now. So I went back to the north after I went to the east. Then I'll probably go south and then west. And I assume after that there'll probably be something else, you know, if I'm assuming you gather those, maybe there'll be one more area with a final boss of some sort. Who knows, maybe it opens up even more, I'm not sure. But so far I'm really liking it. You know, I feel like there's a good amount of customization. I always say that. It's so stupid. Customization. Man, did Casey hit his head or something?
Man, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Those New Yorkers are dumb. But yeah, no, it's got that customability that's just second to none. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it so far. I did that on purpose. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to continuing and seeing how the rest of the game pans out. And I'm sure that'll be something that I'll definitely be talking more about, but I'm sure something at some point you'll be talking about too.
Yeah, is this game out yet?
Yep, comes out as of this recording.
I gotcha. Yep, I've always been interested in this game, so I'm kind of like, doesn't this game seem like it's totally primed for a retail release? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see it, but
right?
I don't know. Did it have one for the other consoles?
I don't know. But I just feel like Super Rare or Limited Run, that just seem like they're going to do it.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I should just email them. Like, are you going to do it?
Just let me know. I don't want to double dip, dang it.
I don't. Like, I really don't.
But yeah, I should just mention, too, the game looks really cool. Like, it's got a really nice art style. The areas I've been in so far have been, like, nice and different and fun to look at. So, yeah, no, I would definitely check out Hyperlight Drifter.
It's not a roguelite, right? I mean, it's
just like you're going through.
Game, right?
Yep. Yeah, like you said, I guess it's in that ilk of Zelda where it's like, hey, go out and do things, you know.
I love those kind of games.
Yeah.
The go out and do things.
Go out and do.
Now, speaking of limited run games, that's my segue into the next game that I've been playing, which is Flinthook.
Give him the hook.
Yeah, so this is a game that I heard it was coming physical, so I didn't pick it up. Like, that was my whole thing. I was going to pick it up on the eShop, and then I heard, okay, it's coming physical. It looks awesome. I love the style. I can't wait to see it over on my shelf, and I'm looking at it right now. I gotta tell ya, very happy I did it. It's a good-looking game. But it always appealed to me. It's a roguelite, which seems to be every game that I play nowadays. Dead Cells, Into the Breach. And it's roguelite platformer, and it's amazing pixel graphics. I mean, it's just like almost too much, too many animations for every single like menu switch and item, and
tone it down, boys.
Come on, let's not be conceited. But yeah, so Flinthook. So the main thing is you have a hook, right, and that you flint. No, you have a hook and you like
you hook.
There are
he's a hooker.
You're a hooker, and you hook onto things. Well, there's tons of stuff around that. It's kind of cool because the way it works is it's not dual analog. It's kind of like wherever your left analog stick, like that's what you use to run. But it's kind of like a 360 degree where as you're running, and then you can also throw it at that angle. Does that make sense? So it has like a
I get you. Yeah.
It's not dual. It's just one stick. But then you can get these special boots or shoes or whatever that if you hold L, then you can stop, and then you can just aim 360 degrees.
Ooh, that's like the power move right there.
Yeah, I mean it's like a necessary, like you need it to play type thing. But you go through and it's like this space pirate aesthetic where you're going through, and so it's like a new map, like a kind of like Metroid, where you're going to different rooms, up, down. You follow a map, and then you not follow a map, but you unlock parts of a map.
Yeah, different areas.
Each room will have treasure chests in it, or have enemies will spawn. You gotta kill them all, and then take the treasure.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Give me the loot. Yeah, and so the loot, it's hard. You have health, and if you're dead, just like any roguelite. And then there's bosses at the end of each. So it's kind of weird because, like, the first boss you have to kill, you have to conquer 3 ships, and then you can face the boss. So 3 ships without dying, and then you face the boss. And if you kill the boss, then you've beaten that guy. It's a bounty, quote unquote bounty.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to find a guy, so you're like a bounty hunter. And then you unlock the next one, and you get it. So it's kind of a cool, because it kind of goes from roguelite elements in a level-based system where there are kind of levels. The bounties are kind of like the levels,
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's a good sense of feel. It plays good. You jump around. You can jump off walls. You have a blaster that like I said, you can shoot as well with your hook. So you're jumping around. You're dodging people. And you can also slow time, which is pretty cool. Slow time, and then it'll make it so you can kind of dodge through certain things. You can't. The thing I was really there's no dodge roll in this game. And I think that is almost a must now. I think that would have made this game so much better because it's pretty tough. It can seem pretty pretty unfairly tough at points because there is no dodge roll. There's no
it's almost
dash.
there's no way to get out of dodge.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I really wish about this game, because otherwise it's pretty hard, and you can feel even where and then it turns from an action game, as well as it's a platformer, just trying to jump over spike pits and stuff, and you can just kind of get off, and you can get hit and just get into a hit, and then boom, you're dead. Not too often, but it can feel pretty...
Yeah, 0 to 100 dead.
It's just kind of that didn't really feel completely fair and good, so it doesn't really encourage you to want to keep going instantly. But it's a really good pick up and play game, and I've actually gotten a lot out of it. I really have been enjoying it. I've almost beaten the second bounty, and as far as I can see, everything looks the same. Every ship looks the same. And so that's kind of there's all the and you get new enemies the further you go that are harder, but they're all this, but there's not a lot of enemies, and all the stage things look the same, and by golly, it looks gorgeous. The only complaint I have being
caveat,
with the caveat being that I don't, sometimes it's hard to understand what's in the foreground and what's in the background. There's not really good identification between the two. So you'll don't even what stuff has loot in it, what barrel has loot and stuff like that. So, anywho, really fun game. I actually am enjoying it. I would recommend it if you are a roguelite platformer fan, like Goner or something like that. It's not as hard as Goner.
Oh man, I haven't played that game in too long.
So I know, man.
What a good game.
Oh yeah, I probably don't even know how to play it anymore. It's been too long.
You never knew.
Shut up.
Leave me alone.
Remember that one time you and Justin made fun of me on the show?
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Yeah.
Which time? Yeah.
Which time? But yeah, that's Flinthook. It's cool. It's fun. There's so many cool, fun games coming out, aren't there?
There's too many. Some might say.
Yeah, I would say, and. Yep. So,
and we got a whole bunch of them to talk about on our next segment, isn't that right?
That's right. So let's take a quick break and come back and do the eShop round. And we're back for the Talk Nintendo podcast.
We are.
And we have the eShop Roundup.
eHaw.
Skip boom. And we're starting with Western 1849. And I hit the wrong thing. 1849 Reloaded for $7.99.
Reloaded.
From Nawia Games. This is, you gotta become the ultimate bounty hunter in this bullet-fast shooting gallery set in the Wild West.
And I tell you what, it looks fantastic.
It does. It looks really good. Like, really clean, really nice. Looks great on the portable screen here.
Yeah, it looks, like you said, not quite a Borderlands-esque look to it. Maybe a tiny bit, but...
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Visually, but it's a pointer game, you were saying, right? So
yeah,
it's...
and
we know how those pointers work on the Switch.
Yeah, it's pointer controls on the Switch, not that good, so... But, I mean, just not because of the game, right? Just because of the Switches. And there are other options I've heard with control. So anyway, that was cool. I think we have a review coming out for that on the site if we don't have one already. So
next up here, we've got Gnome's Garden 3, The Thief of Castles for $4.99.
So there's no other Gnome's Gardens games on the Switch. This just might be the first one, right?
I presume.
I don't think so. I don't remember any of these. But yeah, this is like, it looks like Where's Waldo?
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Oh man. Look at that font. Speaking of small font, Perry.
I know. It's tiny.
You better get out your microscope.
Remember to grow a water lily.
No thanks.
Anyway, it looks like a certain kind of game.
What do we got next then? Looks up your alley.
Oh, baby. We have Gakuyan Club. What lay behind the door was a glamorous nightlife. Welcome to the secret social spot.
And it's only $24.99 to get into that secret social spot, Perry.
Yeah. Thank you. That was really helpful. That's what he says on the thing.
Interesting.
Well, it's a pretty looking game. It's nice visuals. High res, I guess. It's like an anime looking like let's see what they call it, adventure game, I guess. So, well, romantic adventure game, the school life. Okay.
Well, that's all right. At least though, we've got a week because yes, it is archived.
Is it?
I already archived. Oh my goodness.
No, it's not.
Both?
No, it's. First of all, this isn't a week yet.
Yeah, it is.
The archive.
Oh no, it's. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, it's not. I got overzealous. Arcade Archives Argus. It's a lot of A's.
Yes.
For $7.99. Destroy enemies in the air and on the ground as you head to destroy the flying fortress Mega Argus. Looks like a nice little shmup.
Yep.
Definitely
Probably
an
awesome
arcade classic, for sure. Doesn't visually look that stunning, but another good shmup.
Every other shmup you've ever seen.
Yeah, every other shmup you shmupped.
Yep. You schmupper.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Haunted Dungeons, Hayaki Castle, for $13.99. Fast-paced. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I was too fast-paced for you, bro. Fast-paced, real-time dungeon X Edo Japanese yokai folklore.
Dude, this is a freaky game. Look at those.
Well, yokai are definitely like
stuff in there.
Because like if you look at some of like Yokai Watch, like some of the yokai are really, they have strange designs. So I guess it's just like, yeah, because you're looking at like
with a hand on it.
Yeah, this looks sort of weird for sure.
Anyway,
rated T for teen.
Yeah, rated T for Anyway, next up we have Boxy Racers. Or no, Cheeky Boxy Racers.
That makes it sound so much better.
That really does. What is this game? I'm gonna look at the video.
Here comes a party racing game that's a ton of fun for $9.99. Drift like a pro with easy analog stick controls. The intuitive party battle mode offers fun for everyone. Play wherever you are, anytime.
Oh wow, the menus look really cool. Oh, there's 8 players, and it's like an RC type game.
Looks like there's a little Rocket League.
Some like little mini Rocket League mode, and there's like even like a little Splatoon mode. This looks amazing! Oh my goodness!
Buy it.
This looks so good, dude.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
I love it. 8 player, $10. I will get a hold of this game.
Boom.
That's awesome. Okay.
You heard it here first.
But guess what? You also have heard here first that another week will come and everyone will still be living.
It looks
because ACA Neo Geo Football Frenzy is here. $7.99.
Looks like I wasted money buying Madden.
Seriously,
I could have bought
way cooler.
Could have bought Football Frenzy.
Look at those happy blue football players.
The complete American football experience. Aim for that touchdown. That's amazing.
Aim for that touchdown.
That's so good. Woo!
This is awesome. I
Next
love these Neo
up
Geo
here,
games.
we have Real Politics. Oh boy.
Okay.
This is the complete edition consisting of the base game and the new Power DLC. It is a streamlined real-time grand strategy game that allows you to become the leader of any contemporary nation.
All right.
So looks like a nice little sim if you're into that. $24.99. I guess it sort of almost looks like it's maybe trying to do like the Civilization kind of gameplay.
Sure.
But yeah. Boom.
All right. Next up, we have Fall of Light, Darkest Edition, which Justin talked about last week, and he mentioned how he really did not like this game. Although it doesn't look too bad, it looks pretty cool actually. But
yeah,
apparently
definitely,
it's not that good.
definitely
Apparently it's just
listen to
really
last
cheap
week's.
And doesn't not fun. So
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely check out last week's episode if
But it definitely-
you're curious. It is on sale though, $14.99 down to $13.49 until the 12th.
It definitely sounds like a Switch eShop game.
Like you said, it sounds
Fall
like a
of Light, Darkest Edition. That's like the.
It sounds sort of like a hodgepodge of names, like
Yep.
oh, you got the wheels spinning, throw the darts.
Yep. Just like this next one. Ooh, which is Fantarook. Fantarook?
Thank God you
Fantarook?
took it.
Combines survival horror with adventure and stealth mechanics, and there's gruesome
Yeah, there's
pictures.
looks like somebody been operated on and
Yep.
and they just abandoned them halfway home.
Interesting.
What's
It's
interesting
$5.
is well, that's
It's
what I was going to
$4.99.
say. It's interesting. It's $4.99, and it actually looks visually like a pretty cool little game. Interesting.
Yeah.
Next up, though, we have. What do we have? Let me tell you. We have
Azura
Reflections for $17.49.
Reflections?
It's actually on sale 30% down from the normal $24.99. Now on Nintendo Switch, a side-scrolling bullet hell fan game based on one of the hottest shooting game series to come out of Japan, the Toho Project. Or Toho? Toho?
Maybe I'm not cut out for gatekeeping.
Well, what's a shame is it's a bullet hell, right? And they don't
there's like
really
one
give you too
screenshot.
much. Yeah, it's like close-ups of the
It's
characters,
like,
which
and
is
it's
like
super blurry and like I don't even see what's going on.
yeah, that not the greatest. Because I like a
Well,
good
you know what I
bullet
say
hell.
to that case? Let's move on.
Moving along. Next up, we've got the Video Kid for $4.99. The Video Kid. Again, this is another game Justin talked about last week, sort of going a little bit along the lines of the classic Paperboy model, but not quite. Not quite the same, with a bunch of nostalgic 80s business thrown into the fray. Boom.
Apparently it's kind of cheap, but it looks kind of fun. So next up we have a Metro from Radio Games for $8.99. Get the city moving, Case.
Yeah, it definitely looks like little subway maps.
It's like a little like subway map.
This has got to be
thing.
puzzle simulator.
Well, that looks cool.
Yeah, so it looks like gotta sort of get the subways running properly. $9.99. It's on
Interesting.
sale, 10%. $8.99.
Skibadoosh. Now up we have Freedom Planet.
Yes, sir.
Casey's favorite game from
Based off
Marvelous.
my favorite franchise.
That's based. And yeah, Cassie.
I did play this game a little bit on the Wii U. From what I hear, it's a very good game.
Yep. $14.99.
You know, this next
We all
game
know.
I can guarantee is good, though, and that is
Fantastic
the game
game.
we've been not shutting up about, The Messenger. And I
Yes.
believe this is
Everyone should go get it.
$19.99.
Everyone go get it right now. That's all we need to say, really.
Right? I think it was $19.99.
I believe so,
Because
yeah.
I purchased it. I got it on sale for $16.99, so I don't know how much longer that sale is going to be going on, but
Yeah.
definitely worth checking out.
It's on sale if you own any of the other Devolver games. So.
Oh, is that maybe why I... Okay.
You know what game I need to get, which I think is from Devolver, is the cluster truck. Remember how fun that game was at PAX?
Yeah, that was a blast. It's just you spent so long. And you know
what
what
that was Devolver. Maybe that was Tiny Build. But yeah,
you know
I was
what
just
the rope
addicted
is?
to that game.
They rope you in because you spend like a half hour and you finally perfect it, and you're like, bam, I got it. I'm ready to take on the next one, you know? And then you're like...
And then you take on the next one, and you get it in your first try. It's like, yes!
That, or it's another half hour, and you're like...
And then it's another half
hour. But now I've committed...
Yeah, they always put it...
Yeah, they throw you a nice...
They're monsters.
After the brutal ones, they usually give you a nice little slam dunk.
Yeah, where it makes you feel like you're just... Well, and a lot of it is because, you just are getting better skill. But anyway, this ain't no quick bites. eShop Roundup, dang it. So next up we have Ludo Mania for $4, and this looks like a little board game type.
The king of all board games. Spend some wonderful time with your loved ones, Perry.
Does it say that? King of all... Oh.
Yeah, king of all board games.
Cool, you can play the most popular variations of the medieval Indian board game with Pachisi.
$4
Did they just...
What's that?
Did they just spell Parcheesi and they just... Oh my goodness,
Is this... Wait.
They even... Okay, look. They have Pachisi, and then later on it says, not enough, try Parcheese. They don't have the Parcheesi at the end. That's so funny.
We gotta get around copyright.
Yeah, seriously. Next up, though, we have Claws of Fury, which would explain every single interaction I have with a cat. Look at this little cute game. Claws of Fury. It looks like it's multiplayer.
Little $9.99
Punch and claw
action.
your way through 40 fast-paced levels of pure mayhem while honing your ninja cat skills.
I like the neon cat sign that says meow.
Meow.
But the head is the M.
Yeah. And dinner cat.
Oh, that's funny.
Looks cool.
You son of a witch! For $14.99 is our next game. An action roguelike for 1 to 4 players with cute graphics, easy to pick up plays, or easy to pick up controls, and deep game mechanics.
All right. Looks like it's something. $14.99. Next up, we have Planet Alpha. A beautiful alien world filled with mystery and danger.
It looks pretty cool, but again, it's like, these don't look like in-game screenshot. Oh, they got a little video here, I guess we could see it in motion, but it looks...
They look like in-game screenshots, yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep, John Reardon did the review. You can check it out. He gave it a good score at NintendoWorldReport.com.
Next up, we've got Moonfall Ultimate for $12.99.
Yes, we do.
It is currently on sale, down to $10.39 until the 18th, so you can go check that out. Moonfall is a 2D side-scrolling action RPG set in an industrial gothic universe. Hack, slash, and cast your way through a treacherous hand-painted world in solo, couch co-op, or an endless arcade mode, Perry.
Gotcha.
Man, I don't like they don't give any screenshots, only the vidya. Making me load up the vidya.
Yep. Well, we have a review over Joel A. DeWitty did the review, and it's 5... I gave away part of the score. He said ultimately disappointing, so anyway, this might save you a purchase there. Next up, we have God Wars, the Complete Legend.
Discover Japan's untold legends, Perry, for only $39.99.
No, you do that.
I've actually heard a lot of good things about this game. Another strategy RPG. Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but like I said, I just know I've heard good things.
Well, I got that really big Japanese aesthetic. Looks cool.
And bringing us to the end here.
Yeah.
Ninjin. Clash of Carrots. For $14.99.
Another Ninja Cat game. You think that this...
Well, this doesn't look like... is that a cat? I guess they're...
Some of them are.
Cats and bunnies, maybe? Like, that one's definitely a rabbit.
Or a fox. Fox and a rabbit.
Yeah, he's got a bushy tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. It's an anime-inspired beat 'em up.
Boom.
with a gaggle of varied enemies.
Woo, a whole gaggle. They brought the gaggle.
That's cute. A lot of cute little beat 'em up, cute games this week. So, Case, what's your game of the week?
Oh man, I just closed my Switch. Let me boot it back up.
That happened last time.
I tell you what, I'm trying to think.
I give my game of the week, and that's cheeky boxy racers.
You know what? I will give it as the most interesting. I think.
What's that?
Is that Haunted Dungeons Hayaki Castle? For the sheer craziness of it and oddity. It looks pretty cool though.
All right.
There you go.
Cool.
That or that weird survival horror game. But I don't know. I digress. Now,
All right.
it is time, Perry.
For what?
Villainy discount! Villainy discount!
That's right, it's Villainy Discount, and it's a special week for we have every single Atooi game that's on Switch is on sale, including Mutant Mud's Collection, which is half off for $7.50. We have Zeo Drifter, which is half off for $4.99. We have Sucker Slammers, which is half off for $4.99 as well. But my favorite, Totes the Goat, is half off for $2.49. So it's absolute bargain. But all of these games are an absolute bargain. Go get them. They're fantastic. From friend of the show, Jules Watcham. And yes, enjoy. As a special offer, if you mention Talk Nintendo Podcast into your Switch's microphone, you won't get any additional percentage off, for that would be far too low for the value of these games. And anyway, the Switch doesn't even have a microphone. But we hope you enjoyed this special Villainy Discount, and enjoy the rest of your week. I'm Perry Thathers, and thank you very much.
The YouTube Saloon.
Yes, so a little update on the old YouTube Saloon, and I will take part, or not part, I will take responsibility for the lack of challenges coming out. Like I said, it's been a crazy couple weeks sort of acclimating, and I've got a wedding this weekend, my brother's wedding, so it's like a writing best man speech and all this jazz.
Oh, this poor guy, everyone. He's so busy. He just moved his whole life away, and it's his birthday, and his brother's getting married. Just get off his back.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Leave him alone. But no,
leave Brittany alone.
Yeah. But he edits the videos, and we have a whole slew of them that we're going to be recording in the next week or two. So we're going to have a whole new batch of stuff, so don't worry about it. It's not going anywhere. It's just
well,
life.
like I said, once I get sort of back into a nice routine of being able to pump them out on a regular basis, it'll be nice. But yeah, so just a little update to keep you fine folks informed on that front. But that means that is in the rearview mirror, and that means right ahead of us is the old
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Yes, now, the old news talk. Now, I will not say this is Hardy, Perry. This is not a Hardy week, but it's a Hardy light, maybe.
Okay.
Use that joke twice.
Gotcha.
We've got Nintendo has announced via Twitter that you will be able to play cooperatively online as Mario and Luigi in the original Mario Bros. Game for the NES, coming to the Switch this month via the online service. I guess nice confirmation that they are indeed sticking to this month. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what other games are going to be part of the service. But yeah, I mean, this could be one we could probably play for a challenge or something, and then call it quits on that one, you know.
Right.
But
yeah, true.
Yeah,
I know. Not super excited.
Yeah, nothing too crazy on that front yet, but you know, the details will have to come out sooner before later, so hopefully they'll have some interesting stuff like, give us some themes and folders, please. But mostly themes. I just want themes.
Yes.
But yes.
Please.
I want it.
Give it to me.
Dang it. What's the next bit of news we got, Perry?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Casey. I'm very, very glad you asked because something called Shovel Knight King of Cards plus Showdown, which is, well, the Shovel Knight Showdown, they gave a, they gave a release date to King of Cards, and they also introduced a brand new games thing called Showdown, which is like a Smash Bros. Type game. All releasing on April 9th, 2019. Yes, you heard me right. April 9th, 2019.
Whew! Wasn't that,
What in the heck?
Wasn't that game supposed to come out early this year, technically? It was slated for?
Yeah, remember when you
Hot
played it at
dog!
PAX?
Yeah.
My goodness, what's taking so long?
You know what? I mean, the one thing you don't have to worry about is that you know it's going to be a good game, you know, so it'll be worth the wait. And I'll be honest, it's like, I'm in no rush to play Shovel Knight. Not because I don't enjoy it, but it's like, we played a bunch of Shovel Knight, and like, there's so many other games, like, I'm cool with it being a while off, but I just want them to get it out of the door so they can start working on something not Shovel Knight related, or just like true sequel of a Shovel, like if they want to continue the Shovel Knight series, you know, like
Right.
I'm excited to see what would be next after all this DLC, and you know, it'll be nice once they get King of Cards out, they could sort of dust their hands of all those Kickstarter commitments and stuff, and sort of see what's next for Shovel Knight, or at least what's next for Yacht Club Games.
Absolutely. So
Sounds like you got a text message.
And no, this is HD Rumble because I'm playing Into the Breach.
You dog.
No, but yeah, and I've always wondered, it's like, why didn't they come out with the Shovel Knight retail like at launch, you know, for Switch? Like, I don't like, it was on Wii U for Pete's sake, you know. And,
Yeah, I mean, maybe
just
they
think
thought
I guess they're waiting for Treasure Trove, I guess, but it's like
that would make sense to give like the ultimate.
I'm not trying to sound like I'm on the hate train for Shovel Knight right now, because Shovel Knight's an absolutely awesome game. So don't. But I'm not a big fan of that box art or like the logo. I've never really liked the Shovel Knight logo anyway. But anyway, I just want to say,
Hater.
maybe
No.
I'm just trying to justify myself for buying it like 6 months ago on the eShop.
Yeah,
on
I
the
bought it
Switch.
on launch day, and in the launch day joys, it was like, I'm just gonna get everything.
You're an idiot.
But yeah, shut up. But yeah,
Happy
so
birthday.
speaking of physical releases, Enter the Gungeon will be getting a Switch release. The PS4 details have been announced, and then in sort of a follow-up tweet, they were like, hey, Switch peeps, like, don't worry, we got you, you know, like, they're not ready to, I guess, give those details out
through
right now.
limited run?
I don't know.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.
I guess I probably should have
That's cool.
looked at that little piece up too. But yeah, no, I guess they said they don't have details on. Let's see, what's that picture look like? It's got something on there. Big games in small batches. That's the punchline, but I can't read what the special. What the heck does that even say?
That's okay.
Well, now
If
I'm
it's hard
curious.
to read, then
Yeah, it's anyway. But yeah, well,
Cool.
what's great is that the box art is just yellow with just like the little eyes in the mouth of like the bullet, you know.
yeah.
It's like so simple but
Okay,
so
you gotta
good.
send it to me. Where is it? Where are you seeing this on?
Here, I can. Where's my dang old Skype?
Here, I can look it up.
Here, I got it. I'm dropping it in the bucket,
All right, thank you.
and you could look at that name.
Oh yeah,
Special
dude, that's
Reserve
an awesome
Games?
cover. That's so funny.
Yeah, isn't that so good?
Special Reserve.
Yeah, or is that what it
Yeah.
says?
Yep,
Yeah. It's such a good box art.
that is funny. That's hilarious. So.
But
I
yeah,
guess
so
I didn't
that's
realize I was into the
exciting.
Dungeon, so yeah, awesome. That's a cool game. I won't be getting it physical because I already have it.
Yeah,
But-
me either probably, but
Cool though.
I don't know though. That is a good box art.
It is a good box art. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
But
Sucker.
this is a really cool thing. Mario and Rabbids was confirmed to have over 2 million sales.
Hot dog.
Wow, Um, That's
That's a lot of cabbage.
The creative director said that he would shave if they sold 2 million, and it turns out he has shaved his beard, thus confirming.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool little story. That that's how it was confirmed that it hit the 2 million sales mark.
Yeah,
and that was
Good
the
for
same
them.
guy that was like when they showed off and everyone's response was so positive, like him sort of tearing up, in the crowd.
yeah.
So it's
That
cool, that nerd.
what an
No,
idiot.
but yeah, it's cool to see obviously such passion pay off, and
Yeah.
it will not surprise me one iota when there's a Mario and Rabbids 2.
No, I hope so. I love that game. But here's hoping to Starlink gets a good.
I think with the Star
Covered good,
Fox, it's gonna
I
sell
love how he's
by
on the
far.
cover and stuff. I think it's awesome.
It's gonna be like Soul
I'll be
Cal
getting that
2
game.
with
Bro,
Link.
Sif.
It's like for sure it will easily be best selling on Switch,
Yep.
and I think a lot of people are gonna dive in that wouldn't
What
necessarily
an
have dived
interesting
in.
concept. It totally is like Soul Calibur, isn't it? Because it's like, are they doing that with other consoles?
No,
Are they
well-
doing exclusives like with other?
No, I think it's
Because
just
that would be cool though.
it's gonna almost feel like, and granted, there might only be a handful of Star Fox exclusive, areas to explore, but just the
Yeah.
fact that you could fly around as Fox is gonna make like the other versions like seem
And there's
so
a Star
much
Fox
worse,
toy too. So
Yeah.
yeah, so cool. But Travis has struck again. For
Woo-wee.
the news has come that January 18th it is releasing.
Yay! That'll
Interestingly
be
enough, not physical.
Yeah, I guess you know what? I saw an interview and he was saying like he wanted to do the indie thing where everyone was like a small group. You could look around a room and see everyone working on the game. So I think maybe it was part of that. Just like, hey, we just want to stick to indie. That could be maybe
Yeah,
you
but I
get
mean, they could
a
still
limited
release it
run
physically.
games or something.
Yeah,
But
that'd
and
be
then
cool physical.
and then of course he said he wants to work on Travis whatchamacallit, No More Heroes 3. So
Yeah.
but I feel like he said that like for the last like 10
Well, of course
years or
he
whatever it
wants
is.
to.
So
I mean, yeah, I
so
know.
hopefully this sells well and he can make that happen, because I bought those 2 games. I need to play them.
Oh yeah, along with the 150 other games you need to play.
I know. It's like I need to hit the lotto. So then this way it's like, all right, I'm going to work, Caitlin. Don't bother me. It's 8 hours of just playing games. Like, I'll see you when I'm home.
That's funny. But what's not funny is that Valkyria Chronicles Remastered is confirmed for October 16th.
Straight business.
Digital only for $19.99. That's awesome. I'm kind of interested in Valkyria Chronicles because it's a SRPG.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
a fan of. So,
Yeah, and I remember I was gonna buy it for PS4 back in the day when it was announced, and then I was like, wait a second,
what am I?
I don't
doing?
have time to play games,
Yeah.
or those like extra games. But
Yeah.
no, just more Switch love, Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the end of the news. Like I said, not a crazy busy week, but that news block was brought to you by John Barlow.
No.
I
Well,
know, I'm just
okay,
kidding.
sure. Yes. So let me play the fun and happy giveaway music. Because it's giveaway time.
Giveaway.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that.
That's good, yeah. Giveaway time, yeah. This one, our friend of the show, John Barlow, from Australia, aka the funniest Australian that I've ever, one of the funniest people I've ever met. He's so funny. Sends us great, funny emails that I get to read. I usually when I it's like the first thing I read when I wake up. I got like I'm in bed and I wake up and I check my phone and it's like, oh, got another email from John. And it always cracks me up. So.
Old Johnny.
Starts me off on the right side of the bed. But so yeah, giveaway. He just graciously unsolicited. We've never solicited for anything, but he wanted to do a 10 shop. A $10 eShop giveaway.
I was gonna let you slide on the recently, where you put recently and gracefully together. The old 10 shop.
Yes, the 10 shop. $10 eShop giveaway.
Oh, God.
For, I mean, just for, yeah, it'll just be for anyone. But, yeah, we're going to do that. So check it out on Twitter. What are we going to do for the replies, Case? How about...
Put me on the spot.
How about...
What's your best word fumble? What's your...
How about if they could have any game physical, what would it be?
Boosh, I like it.
There we go. So, and we can tag Super Rare and Limited Run in that mix. For any,
I hope.
So,
just make sure to get in your replies recently.
Yeah, graciously. Yes, thank you. I gotta give some fuel to Casey because he gives me so much fuel all the time. So
that's just because I'm a generous man.
And just make sure you round up your Pegasus Knights.
With a whole gaggle of Pegasus Knights, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, so check that out on Twitter. We'll probably have that when we release the episode, so you can check it out right now.
Yeah, it'll be up there.
Yep. So favorite, what if you could have any Switch indie game?
What would it be?
Any Switch game. It doesn't have to be indie, like whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Travis Strikes Again.
Ba-boom.
Anyway, so thank you, John. You're the best. You are the absolute best. Well, I mean, you know, for who you are. I mean, we have some really awesome fans.
You're the best for who you are.
You're tied. You're tied for best. I need to stay politically correct, Casey. Don't want to get anyone upset here. But we do have a Craigslist winner from our 100th episode that I forget to announce. Jeremy Wood. He sent in, and we were saying, "What's your favorite, Coke or Pepsi?" To send me in an audio recording of what your favorite one was, and I got tons of them. And I did like a little random thing, and Jeremy won. And I'm gonna play it for you. What he said right now.
Born and raised in NC, it's got to be that Pepsi Cola, baby.
See, Casey. Just to show that I'm not a biased person, I let someone who preferred Pepsi win.
Well, you know, I appreciate the sentiment, but, like, let's be serious. Everyone that did their little voice in, they were all Pepsi. So you're trying to look like you were a bigger and better man, but
no.
You were backed into a corner.
No.
Backed into the corner.
No, I wasn't.
So you're saying you purposely selected a Pepsi man then,
No,
huh?
it was a random. But it's like, I purposely did not say, no, he's not getting it because he liked Pepsi.
Well, good.
See?
At least
Right?
you're not corrupt.
That's what I'm saying, okay? If you would just let me... You always expect the worst out of me, Casey. Always. If you just give me a chance.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Say that to my face.
Well, if the shoe fits.
I heard you closer to the mic. That was actually kind of scary. But okay, yes. So thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. He won some swag from the Craigslist pile.
Swiggity swag.
So I sent him a few Game Boy Advance video games, or what do you call it? You know, like those video.
Some cartridges.
Well, you know, like you can watch like Nickelodeon TV shows.
Oh
on Game
no,
Boy
yeah.
No, I didn't really do that, but anyway, yeah.
You were actually the loser.
It's like, you won it, but you said Pepsi.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you a bottle of Pepsi. Actually, I should totally send him a bottle of Pepsi. I can't do that, though.
Why not?
Because it's liquid.
Is it liquid or perishable?
I could do an empty Pepsi bottle.
But then you'd have to drink
I have to buy one, yeah. Well, I wouldn't drink it. I'm not an idiot. I would just pour it out.
You Jimmy?
Anyway.
That's a waste.
That'll be the end of the show. Because I already feel like the music should have already taken over by now. But thanks, everyone, for listening. Check out our Twitter at Talk Nintendo Pod. That's Talk Nintendo
POD.
Oh, yeah, and you can check us out there. We always post our episodes. We're also on YouTube, on NWR TV, and of course, we're hosted over at NintendoWorldReport.com, where we post tons and tons and tons of content and features and reviews that you should always be checking daily, if not hourly. If not
If not on every 15.
Yep. So if not on every 15. So thank you for joining me, Casey.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. It's my absolute pleasure. We've done this for 103 weeks in a row.
Yep. And we ain't stopping yet.
Nope. But it's almost our 2-year anniversary.
Good Lord.
In fact, yeah. So it's coming. In fact, when is our 2-year anniversary here?
Well, I guess by theory it would be 104, wouldn't it? 52 and 52?
It'd be, I think, the week before September 8th. Or no,
That would be this week.
Oh my goodness, it's our... Yeah, you're right. Happy
'cause
anniversary, Case.
Woo! It's so funny.
Happy birthday.
It's funny because Caitlin and I's anniversary was yesterday. So it's like it's a busy week.
There's something about the end of summer.
In the beginning of September with the football, when the pig skins are ripe and flying through the air.
It is the birth of many, many beautiful things. A Cassie Gibbons, a blossoming relationship. I'm trying to think of what I'd call it.
The summer's eve.
The summer's eve and the podcast of Nintendo discussion.
And pig skins.
And pig skins, baby. Although it was so funny that my Husker game,
Canceled.
Huskers, got a brand new coach. He's just got Frost. He's an amazing quarterback we had. He's coming back. And we're so excited. And he walks on the field and everyone's jumping around. And they kick off and cancel the game.
That's it. Going home.
There's lightning. That's it. We're going fishing.
It's so funny because next to that guy. Give him the hook. He cracked one too many corns, they say. You son of a witch!